Hello, lovely bookish friends. How are we doing? I feel like it's been forever since I have sat down to film. The last few weeks have been like completely chaotic and crazy and busy and yeah, it's just been nuts. So I'm excited to be talking to you guys again. I'm going to do my mid-month wrap-up right now. And so we're going to talk about a few books and we are going to drink some coffee because coffee is necessary to life. I learned at nursing school that there really is such a thing as a caffeine drip, and I want that. Like, I just want a caffeine IV in my arm. But anyways, sidetrack. Let me take a little drink. So, we are going to talk about a few books. I definitely have had way less time to read. A lot of days, especially like the first week. I mean, I was starting at like 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning with class stuff and homework and going until like 9 o'clock at night, and it just wasn't going to happen. And right now we are back to clinicals Thursdays and Fridays. I go to the hospital for 12-hour shifts, and the other days I have lectures and homework and studying, and it is just, it's a lot. So I've read 3 books so far in the first half of the month, and 2 of them have been audiobooks because I can listen on my commute, and that's probably just going to be a little bit more my norm for the next couple months until clinicals are over and I can breathe a little bit. Oh, and on top of all this, I have to do distance learning with my daughter, so let's just pile that in there too. But everybody's been kind of sharing as well what they're reading with their school books. And so I figured I would add that into my little section here. And here it is. This is my beautiful, beautiful school book. It's not as fun. It's not like a cute little novel. It's just hefty. And I have about 7 of these. But this is the main one. But that's not going to count towards my 3 books we're going to talk about today. Okay, so all the books that I have read so far this month, I got through my library online, and so I don't have any physical books to share with you guys. I was thinking, since there's only 3 books, I can easily rank these books. I'm going to go from least favorite to favorite. I actually enjoyed all of these books, so none are like least favorite, like awful. Just, I don't know, figured let's talk about it in that way. So we'll start with Beach Read by Emily Henry. This one has blown up on YouTube. Everybody's been like loving it. I read A Million Junes by Emily Henry this year, and I really enjoyed this book. I thought it was really cute, and I gave it 4 stars. It is a little bit more magical realism, and it has a little bit of a romance, but it's not like the biggest part of it. There are other themes in there. But so I was excited to read another one of her books, and I did enjoy it. I just didn't love it like everybody else seems to have. It was a 3-star. It was kind of in the middle there for me. I really liked, okay, so let's backtrack a sec, because I should probably tell you what this is about in case you haven't heard. We are following January and Augustus, and they end up living in beach houses right next to each other. They're both writers, and they used to go to school together and have this rivalry going on, and now they're right next to each other, and they're both trying to write their next books. And January also lost her father and is trying to deal with some of her grief, and she's just having really bad writer's block. So the 2 of them decide to swap genres, and Augustus is going to try to write romance, and January is going to try and write literary fiction. And they are going to take each other on these little dates, for lack of a better word, to teach each other about their different genres and what kind of research they might do for these. And I really liked that aspect of it. I thought the dates were really cute and fun, but also like some of them were deep. So obviously we have a literary fiction side of things, so he's usually doing more interviews and more things that have some really big depth to them. And she's just doing some fun meet cutie things, like going to drive-in movies and stuff. So they were just fun. I liked that. I liked the characters. I thought they were very real, relatable people. I think the part that just kind of didn't get me to a higher rating was the end just didn't go anywhere. Like, there was no big climax. We were just like, oh, here's a little conflict, and then we kind of resolved that, and then a little one, and then resolved it, but it never really like climaxed to like a really like moment or anything. I just wanted a little bit more from that. So I don't know. It was good. It was probably a little more real life than, you know, things tend to be, but in a book you also kind of want that extra bit in there. I also felt like I really enjoyed the very end. I'm not going to say much there, but it didn't do something that I'm learning I really don't like in romances. And so I was really excited that that didn't happen, but I can't really say more without spoiling, so I don't know. Guess you'll have to read it to find out. But it was a really cute book. I am not sad for reading it. It was really sweet and light and fun. It just hit that kind of average note for me. So next, let's talk about He Started It by Samantha Downing. So this one I listened to on audio, and I just finished it, not yesterday, but the day before. And I gave this one 4 stars. This one, I don't even know. Like, I'm still trying to process the end of this. Like, my brain just isn't fully, like, comprehending what the heck happened at the end there. Like, what? Alright, so let's tell you what this is about. So this is a thriller type mystery kind of book. And basically these 3 siblings who all have their own kind of secrets and stuff going on all have to take this road trip across the US because their grandpa says, if you want to get my large inheritance, you need to take this road trip, and you can get it when you get there. And so they all get in a car and they're going on this road trip, and you're finding out things about them and their grandpa and just their different relationships. We also have 2 of them have spouses that are with them. And yeah, it gets weird and confusing, and like in a good way, like not in a bad way. It's not ever confusing in a bad way, but just where you're like, wait, what is happening? Curious as to this and that. And there was a couple moments definitely that surprised me, but yeah, that end I was like, whoa. I also would have to say one of my probably favorite parts about this was that every single one of the characters was rather unlikable. They were not good people in any way, but I noticed at the end that I was like rooting for some of them, and I was like, why? Why am I rooting for this person? They're not a good person. Like, you know, so it messed me up in the brain a little bit. So yeah, I mean, overall, definitely enjoyed it. I just, yeah, not really sure what I make of the ending quite yet, still. So I am thinking about it a couple days later, so I mean, that's a good book in my book. That was odd. Anyways, let's talk about the last book. So the last book that I read, actually was the first book that I finished this month, is When Dimple Met Rishi, and I thought this was so cute. I listened to this one on audio too, and I'm just listening mostly when I'm commuting back and forth from the hospital. And I just was like smiling and laughing a lot of the way through it. It made my commute a little bit better, because who loves sitting in traffic? It's just wonderful, right? Anyways, but yeah, I thought that the 2 characters were really sweet, and it was just a really cute story. So let me tell you a little bit about it. So Dimple and Rishi are going to Stanford during the summer for like this event. Basically they can make an app, and then if they make the best app and win, then they get to be represented by, I don't know how to explain her, but basically they're going to get helped to market their app. There we go. Words are going to come out. They are, I swear. So they both end up going there, and their families know each other. Rishi is going there partially because he wants to meet Dimple and possibly start an arranged marriage kind of situation going on. And he's very much into his traditions and following that. And he's excited to see and meet Dimple. And she has no idea about it because she's very much like, no, we live in modern ages. We don't need to do this. I am my own person. And I want to be, you know, a creator of this app. I don't want to just be a wife. And so, you know, obviously their meet is very interesting because she has no idea about this. But they end up having to collaborate on the app together and work together. And it's just super cute. They become friends and lovers, and it's fun. And yeah, I was smiling, laughing, and it just was an enjoyable ride. I thought this one was really, really sweet. So those are 3 books that I have read so far this month. At the moment, I have started Clap When You Land by Elizabeth Acevedo. I'm listening to that one on audio. And it's not a super long audio book, but I'm also listening to it only on like 1.5 speed. Usually I'm at like 2 to 2.5 speed. I get the rhythm of it a little bit better on that slower speed, but it's still only like a 5.5 hour audiobook, so I don't think it'll take me too long to get through that one. And then I also just got my hold for The City We Became by N.K. Jemisin, so I'm probably going to start reading that one either tonight or tomorrow night. But at the moment, reading physical like books is taking me a long time, so I'm guessing that one's probably going to take me most of the rest of the month. And hopefully I'll be able to get in like 2 or 3 more audiobooks, and we'll wrap that up later. But just wanted to let you know kind of where I'm at. And I hope you guys are having a really wonderful month, and I will talk to you guys soon. Oh, and if you haven't subscribed and liked and, you know, all that good stuff, go find me on Instagram. I just updated my Goodreads with a whole bunch of reviews and stuff, and so you can go over there. So, you know, do all those things. Talk to you guys later.